along the actual cold front, which is somewhere in here. You got that south wind ahead of the front, which is pumping up all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And enough time passed through the afternoon hours after the first round moved through that this atmosphere was able to re-energize. You've got temperatures and dew points, a measure of the moisture in the air, that are back up into the 70s. Plenty of fuel to generate more of those severe storms that we're watching developing across southern Mississippi right now. And because of that, there's a new severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued. This one runs until midnight central for far eastern part of Louisiana and much of southern Mississippi. That runs all the way through midnight, and that storm is expected to maintain its intensity even beyond that. So we'll have to monitor areas farther off to the east to see if some of those strong storms spread in. Those are the severe thunderstorm warnings south of I-20 right now in Mississippi. Unfortunately, Bridget, I think we're going to see more of these over the next couple of hours as, once again, we get another round of storms developing.
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.